Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us right here on Midday, Kentucky. David Goldman back in on Friday, of course. How are you, buddy?
Doing wonderful, guys.
Good to hear, Miss Lisa.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very compassionate today.
Yes, you are.
That's what we're talking about, compassion.
Love.
Yes,
And,
I discovered that
compassion comes in all different levels, I believe.
Yeah, and I discovered you actually recognize compassion. That was amazing.
I did.
That was a moment
she
here.
said to me, are you compassionate to me? I said, I say hello, don't I?
Say hello, goodbye.
I acknowledge your
Always
presence.
2 words.
I acknowledge that you're here.
Henri knows Henri in that corner over there.
Oh, boy.
Henri. That means.
I don't know what that means.
That means you're kind of bad.
Yeah, like really bad,
Like
actually.
Oh, she is, as he points. Henri.
I don't know what that means.
Well,
It's gone over my Aussie
I know.
head.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Maybe
Means
you
you're
get
a
at home
rascal.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a rascal.
Yes.
Yeah,
We all
that's
know
a
that.
good. I
Listen,
like
that's
that.
why I was shipped off to boarding school.
Yeah,
Trust
Exactly.
me.
An Henri rascal.
But I always like to have a bit of fun. I've never mean anything, vicious about when we have jabs at each other. Do we? Like, I think we all have fun.
Yeah.
No?
Anyway, what's the first topic?
You're not normal. It's like, okay, I want to tell you about former First Lady Michelle Obama, and let's move along there, my friends. Yes, there we go. I'll start all over again. Now, Michelle Obama said that men feel like they are entitled and women protect them too much. She told the first Obama Foundation International Summit that men are raised to be babies while women are brought up to be strong. Take a listen, everyone.
Because you're running the world, and I know that's one of the questions. It's like raising our men. We got to. I was talking to my mother about that the other day.
Yes.
It's like the problem in the world today is we love our boys, and we raise our girls. We raise them to be strong, and sometimes we take care not to hurt men. And I think we pay for that a little bit. And that's a we thing because we're raising them, And it's powerful to have strong men, but what does that strength mean? Does it mean respect? Does it mean responsibility? Does it mean compassion? Or are we protecting our men too much so they feel a little entitled and a little, a little self-righteous sometimes? But that's kind of on us too, as women and mothers.
Yeah.
As we nurture men and push girls to be perfect.
Interesting.
That is
What do you
interesting.
think?
Yeah, I think she has a point, honestly.
Well, what's the point?
Well, I think that we as mothers tend to baby the boys and keep them as protected as possible. Just like, with girls, it seems like there's a lot of push for us to be strong and independent and, be able to be equals to men. But when raising a man or raising a boy to be a man, I find myself protecting my sons often.
Do you?
Yes, very much so. And I just think that I thought what she said was very interesting.
Okay. Well, then you shouldn't complain when Doug gets the man flu.
Yes.
And so I actually take that 2 different ways.
Yeah.
With what Michelle was saying. What do you think? Because you are a bit of a mummy's boy.
Oh, yeah, right. Y'all know I'm tough as nails.
Oh my!
First of all, Michelle is, man, what a swag she has. Just getting real on people.
I know.
But I do think that she brings up valuable points. But I think it kind of goes both ways. I see that with girls too, I think it just depends on the mom. There's a lot of generalizing there, but for the most part, I think she is right. I like the compassionate part. I know we're talking about it, but she really is, are we bringing them up to be compassionate? Because sometimes it's you're either strong and tough and brute, or sometimes it's like, your little mama's boy.
Yeah.
Well, I think I wasn't brought up that way. We were brought up to stand on our own, do our own thing. Do you know what I mean? And we never were protected in that way. But I think the Europeans baby their sons a little bit more. But my mother was not like that with us. She was Italian. But I think also that men also then need to realize when they have a woman in their life, or another partner, I should say, as well, is that they need to stand on their own 2 feet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yep.
if, like, it's okay if you get a man flu and you just all it really is when you have the man flu is you just want a bit of love.
Yeah, you
So let's
just
be
want to
real.
somebody
You
take care
just
of
want someone
me.
to give you a bowl of soup.
Somebody,
You know?
somebody get me a cover.
Yeah, that's all it really is.
That's it.
And we all know that men don't have responsibilities like women.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
So
very
when they
true.
have, when
we
they
all
get
know
sick,
this already,
they
ladies,
just
right?
decide to stay home.
I'm done.
And you know,
Yeah.
everything's taken care
And be
of.
taken care of by me
Exactly.
and
I
all the
think-
women out there.
I also don't mind someone who is a little bit of a baby. Do you know what I mean? I think it's
we-
okay. It's
Yeah, we,
nice
like
that
we
they
like to
show
take
the
care
softness.
of people,
Yeah.
you know. And,
but
and
you truly are a mummy's boy. I will be on. No, well, we're going to call her in the break and ask her. Can we? I wonder if our producers can patch through a phone call.
you call Rita Goldman right now.
Yeah.
She'll tell you I'm tough as nails.
Well, we know that's not true. Because when I hit you,
Because
you
that's
go.
what moms do.
Oh,
I'm like, will you hit me, man?
I just never notice it. I'm worried about your hands, honestly, because when you hit into this steel,
Are you compassionate?
love is in my heart.
We've got to get her on the line. This would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because we would ask her, is he tough as nails? And and of course,
Oh, is she
she's going to
calling?
say,
I was-
oh,
I
yes,
was like,
absolutely, absolutely.
Was
tough
that
as
your
nails.
mum calling you? Right?
It's like-
No, it's not. But we should find out if we can patch through. We'll find out about
it'd
that.
be hilarious.
Hey, I want to talk a little bit about buying a house, Miss Lisa, because you're in the market.
Well, yeah, I am in the market, but this won't be our first house. But yeah, we've been through the process, and it
well,
is-
you've got lots of money. You just bought a new Range Rover.
No, we don't.
We need to borrow some money, Lisa.
Oh, whatever. But one of the most exciting things for new couples is buying a house. And though it's exciting, it can also be very scary. So here are some things to make sure that you're ready to take this plunge. All right? So here are
Be
5
cashed
essential
up.
things.
The first thing you have to do, everyone, is be cashed up.
Yeah, that's important. That's kind of important. So that's the first one before the first one, okay?
Yeah.
And then the first one, it says, what are you willing to sacrifice to make it happen? So
What do you
a
mean?
lot of times, well, because you have to put money down on a down payment and things like that, and the monthly mortgage payments are going to be there, you're going to have to, sometimes, not all of us are blessed with a lot of money, so we have to plan for this by cutting back in other areas, maybe cutting out a gym membership or cutting back on eating out during the week. That's what Doug and I did when we first bought
Yeah,
a
but a
house. We
lot
had
of
to cut
people
back a
also,
little
I
bit.
just want to say, there's one thing that I love about America is that your housing is so cheap here.
You think
know?
so?
Yeah, it really is.
Well, especially in
comparison.
Kentucky.
Yeah,
in Kentucky.
yeah,
so
we do have a good market.
Most of the time, if you were reasonable with your mortgage, you can normally pay less in your mortgage payments than what you're paying in rent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but-
true.
And what I love in America is your interest is a tax deduction.
Yes, but the big
Not
thing
if
is
Trump gets his
it's
way.
still getting that putting the money down.
Yeah.
That's what you're really
Yeah.
saying, because you've still got to put like usually 5 to 10% down.
Exactly.
So it can still be a chunk.
But I'm going to find I actually have a link for everyone at home. It was sent to me, where you can actually have a house where you don't put a deposit down. It's a true thing.
Yeah.
And it's certain areas in your state that you can buy. So I'll put that up on when we put
Yeah,
this
do
up
that.
Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
The second one?
The next one is, what are the non-negotiables? So, you're working with a partner, so you have to decide how many bedrooms, how many baths. Like if you want 3 bedrooms,
Oh,
if
gotcha.
you can settle for that. You might have wanted 4. David might have wanted 3. And 2 baths. So anyway, so you have
Don't
to
have
negotiate.
too many bedrooms, too many people stay.
Yes, that's true. And then how much renovation work, this is number 3, how much renovation work are we
Yeah.
open to? So that's a huge chunk of money that you have to put down. If you have to do renovation work, it can be at least.
that was,
so
that was a big thing for us.
Yes, it was.
I didn't want to get into a project. I didn't want to get into a house and then have to come home after work and, work
I think
on
it was
this.
your mother telling you not to get into a project.
Chloe, you think you're so tough right now. Lisa, you better hold me back, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, Miss Lisa.
Okay, and the next one, David, is should we both be on the same application? So should
Yeah.
both people be on the application? That's important because
Oh, I don't know about that.
I know, but that's the question. Because you have to find out, what does your partner have as far as a credit
Yep.
score?
Yeah.
They might bring you down, actually, on a loan. So, and make it more expensive
There's a
to buy
song.
the house.
Don't bring me down.
Watch out, we're going to be on, we're
know.
doing a show. It's
Pretty sad.
Crazy.
pretty great.
We're all on the same wavelength. Okay, and then number 5, last one. How much do you need in an emergency fund?
You should always have a cash
Yes,
reserve.
yes. And how many months?
I agree.
What's
Yeah.
the
I think it's 3 months.
3 months,
Oh,
that's
see?
right. Emergency
Yeah.
fund,
Nice.
just to make
Look,
sure you can survive.
You've been
I
doing it
agree
well.
with. Well, I will say to you, and I've done these things back home in Australia, And I remember I was in a relationship and I wanted to make that person feel like they were, it was committed, and I made the mistake of putting them on my mortgage.
Oh.
And 3 years later we had split up and it was a real disaster.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I learned very quickly that, it's best to stay in your lane. And if you're married, that's a different scenario.
Right.
I think until you're married, whether you're engaged or not, you keep everything in your name, or they keep it in their name. It's just being easier.
I hear
it's
ya.
more compassionate in the long run. That's the word of the day.
Compassionate.
Hey, David, yesterday we talked about a resort that's only for obese people and severely overweight, and then we talked about, in relationships that, how do you tell your lover that you no longer find them attractive because they're
Right.
overweight? And then you brought in a topic just out of the blue today, is fat the new normal?
Well, and that is the thing, that fat is the new normal. According to health experts, they say obese people don't realize that they have weight problems necessarily. A new survey found that they're not even motivated, unfortunately, to change their poor lifestyle choices, because with their lifestyle choices, it kind of brings in the norm, because sometimes they're looking at themselves as just normal. But that's because, over 2/3 of our population right now is overweight,
Right.
with a third hitting obesity.
Right.
So it's kind of like when they asked different people, do you feel like you're overweight or do you feel like you're obese? Most of them, 1 out of 10 with obesity, felt like they weren't even overweight.
And there's really something interesting in this study. It was basically saying also, the reason why it's the new normal is because you look at other people,
Right.
and you might be 50 or 60 pounds overweight, but the people you're looking at might be 100 pounds overweight. So you're, oh, well, I'm not obese. I'm not like you, Lisa. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So it does become the new normal.
They're going off the BMIs, so with like obesity, it's 29 and over with your BMI. With being overweight, it's the 25 to 29. They say normal weight is between like 15 to 24, I think.
Okay.
So it does range between men and women, but
Well, don't you remember though? I think I was like 29 for my fat BMI.
well, I didn't want to say anything, Troy.
Yeah, like listen, I'm always going to tell you my flaws, people. Not that there's many. That was,
Just a few.
But the doctor did say to me that I was in the obese category.
Yeah.
Well, you could have knocked me off the darn bed. Do you know what I mean? I was really shocked.
Yeah.
So, but I sit beside
Because
you.
I look at
and
you. I don't think obese. I do
Oh,
not.
I do
And
with you.
I know you do.
Gosh.
But with you, I don't.
Yeah,
She
she
sticks
is.
thin.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, look at me and think, oh, she needs to gain weight. She's too thin. You know what I mean? It goes.
We'll
Because
judge
to
you
the
when
other-
you do
When you're
yoga
under
later
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's time to give away 2 more copies of Kelly Clarkson's new record, Meaning of Life.
That's right. To win the record, all you have to do is go to the Midday Kentucky Facebook page and like, share, and comment on the post that we are about to put up there. You have until 5 o'clock, so get on over there.
The Lexington United Interfaith Encounter is up next after this break. Plus, later in the show, we'll have a little bit of learning with Luna Yoga. Stay tuned.
Ah.